the whole day leading up to a game, it's like nothing else matters. I remember my dad would take me out on the pond or even out on the actual rink and have to hold me up by my hood on my jacket. I was terrible at skating. I must have been 4 years old. We would go back and forth from end to end for, it felt like hours. I'm sure it was 20 minutes at a time, but those are my earliest memories. Just being out there, trying to walk on skates is my first memory of skating, because it's a different concept than walking, but when you're first learning, it's like learning to walk again. I took a year off of hockey between high school and my first year of college, and I was actually worried that when I would step back out there, a lot of it would be gone, but it was like I never left. It really is just like walking now or breathing. First games, obviously you're so young, it's so much slower, and they don't allow contact and hitting until you're 13 or 14 years old, I want to say. So I was actually a lot better probably when I first started playing. I would say as time went on, I didn't have the natural talent that a lot of players have. So I would say I was more on par with the rest of the players that I played with and against in the beginning. And the game is so fast now, especially in college. You really get out there for 30, 40 seconds at a time, and you're gassed out by the time you're back on the bench. In the beginning, you could go seriously 2.5 minutes and go back to the bench and want to get right back out there. You could have a team of players that are worse than a team you're playing against, but if you have a better team dynamic, you're going to win the game. From the goalie up through your defenseman, up through your forwards, there are 6 players on the ice at a time for your team, and every one of them has to work together. It's like a second nature to know where each other is. There has to be chemistry. You have to expect what your teammates are gonna do and go to the spots on the ice where you think they want you to be. It's a mental game, almost like chess in a way, where you have to be thinking 3 seconds ahead of the players around you. You see the puck, you see your teammate with the puck in the corner, and rather than skating to the puck, you want to skate to the top of the circle and look for a pass, for example. It would be impossible to win any games without a good team and a good support base around you. Before games, I'm kind of going through everything. Like it's probably the stress and the adrenaline before a game combined I pretty much don't eat on a game day before a game, but then the second I get out on the ice, all of it's just gone. And it is a freeing feeling. At the end of the day, you're just out there to help your team win, and that's all that matters. And there's not many things that I've found that are as freeing as stepping on the ice. So for me, the hardest part of the whole process is when I'm in my gear in the locker room and it's 5 or 10 minutes before we're out on the ice. That's when the stress and the adrenaline is at the highest level. And for me, I usually say a prayer before the game in my head, and after that I focus, I take deep breaths, I look around me, I try to just soak it all in, because at the end of the day, in the moment, that feeling isn't enjoyable, but it's a feeling that you keep coming back to, because it's a motivator, I would say, that feeling. You can either curl up in a ball when you feel like that, or you can confront it and go out there and handle it, and that's all I've ever done, and I feel like it pays off every time. Hockey is a very much one shift at a time type of game where it's hard to make a goal for yourself for the entire game. I mean, you can say, I want to score this game, but every game has such a different feel to it. It's hard to make those type of goals. So for me, I try to get warm before the game, make sure that I'm ready to go, make sure that my mental's ready. Usually after a couple shifts, I see what my role will be for that game. Generally, when I'm out on the ice, my job is more to be in the defensive zone and shut them down. I'm not the guy who will go down there and do something fancy in front of their goal and score. I just don't have the talent for that. So, especially nowadays, I would say my role and my goals are to make sure that I leave my teammates with the best opportunity to go out and score and help us win the game. So, especially in college, the teammates go just beyond the locker room. You see them up at school all the time, and it's more than just a bunch of different people who go to the rink a few times a week and play every weekend. It really is like a group of closer friends, especially during the season. And I've been on a bunch of teams throughout the past 12 years or however long it's been, and certain teams are more enjoyable for me than other ones. There were a few that were tougher to get along with everyone, but my college team, and especially the teams when I was first starting out as well, have given me some of the best memories, better memories than even being in games. A lot of my favorite hockey memories come from the locker room or hanging out outside of the rink. For me, a lot of my motivation comes from looking in the crowd and seeing people that I know, seeing family, seeing friends. I want to play the best I can for them, but even games that are far away and I know family's not there, or there's nobody really at the game, I'm just motivated by wanting to win at the end of the day. If I didn't want to win, I wouldn't be playing hockey. So.
Do you have any closing extra remarks you want to get off?
Hobart sucks. Now you can cut that out.
Ever since I was a G, I've been legit. Now you should let her go. She wanna be double O tatted on her body. Yeah. It don't matter what they say. I'm timeless. I'll set you on fire when I'm coming home. Fill up the sky. I fill up the dome. Don't put me one day. It's a hell of a show, but it's gonna hurt, cause we did it first. Feel like skateboard beat, BBC boys on the creep. Feel like it's all three. Neptune drum with the beat.